Welcome aboard, folks, and welcome back to my regular viewers. My name is Rod, and in today's video, I will be doing a first impressions of the brand new Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am rather uniquely qualified to not only test the simulator, but test the interface that I'm choosing to interact with the game. Let me pause the music. Because I grew up with flight simulators, and I'll be doing a video of the history of flight simulators in the future, where I'll be walking you through, just briefly, all the different versions over the years. And man, have we come a long way. So previously in the unboxing, I did say that I was going to wait and run it for the first time with the camera. And then I started to set up the control columns. And then I ran into the problem where it wouldn't mount, so I had to custom manufacture this table. Kind of see a little bit in the shot right here in the front. I do have a time lapse of a video of it, so hopefully I'll be sharing that with you. And so I had to custom manufacture it so I could attach the control columns, because it really wouldn't work with my desk. I can go into details about the honeycomb aeronautical control, both the yoke and the throttle quadrant, and I will do that in a future video. Look to that in the future. However, that took a really long time, and then setting up was not very smooth. There are technical details that you need to be aware of when connecting these to your computer so that it all works. Got the rudder pedal as well from Logitech. So got all of that, and then the game itself, it can be so realistic that you're actually just doing the checklist of the airplanes as an actual pilot, right? So there's a learning curve, and I'm still very much learning to interact with the simulator. So I didn't want to boot it up and not have it work. With regards to the simulator itself, let me just point a few things out. Number one, the installation process was wildly awkward. So I grew up with Microsoft, and then I switched to Apple. I've been using Apple for several years now, and it's a lot more intuitive, yes. I know that, but the installation of this software was the most jacked up thing I've ever done. So I purchased it digitally, yes, the deluxe version, and then I wasn't prompted to download when I booted up the system and it recognized my login. I had to dig it out, right? So I went into the Xbox app, but that's not the PC version, that's a game console. Then I had to go into the PC version, and it didn't push the app that I had already purchased to me saying, hey, you haven't downloaded, but you purchased. I had to go seek it out. And then I went to download it, and I bought the deluxe premium version, so I went to download it, and it gave me an error code. And the reason it gave me the error is because I had to download the default, the base version, and then get all my upgrades once I booted up the software. So, I mean, it's just jacked, right? It's weird that Microsoft still allows for this level of clunkiness in their user experience. Well, you know, I'm very technically inclined, so I was able to solve all those issues, and the technical issues of setting this up and the computer build, and, you know, it's been an exciting journey. And hopefully you're enjoying it, and I'll be sharing more of it with you so that you can get more information and then apply it to your build as well. But yeah, installing the app was crazy difficult, and it was about 150 gig to install the app. Then upon booting it up with all the extras, I needed to download another 105 gig. So we're right there at a quarter tera, right, at 250. And then with some of the Discovery flights, I think I've downloaded all of it. However, it did ask me to download it and then download it. And so I think I'm up to an extra 20 gig. So all in all, 270, which is impressive. By far the largest piece of software I've ever installed. And I expected it, right? Nowadays, everything occupies a gigantic space on the hard drive. So I expected that. And this was incredible how much space it occupied. But luckily, you know, this is my business, the channel, and this is what we're doing. So I have fast internet and I can download these things without any problems whatsoever. Everything downloads extremely fast, and within a few minutes I have it. Doesn't matter how big it is. The limitation is not me, as the server, and Microsoft has fast servers providing this data, so it kind of works out. So all of this clunkiness to just get the software started, and then my setup itself, you know, it is a honka thing, right? This thing is large, so it definitely has its own challenges, very significant challenges in building it. There are more changes I'll be doing in the very near future to make this setup a little bit better. I'll be sharing that with you in a future video, but very minor tweaks, just to make the distance between me and the screen better. It's a little bit far away right now. And then, but I do have this very large monitor, so it works. You know, the LG CX, which is a TV, but everybody uses it as a computer monitor, right? All right, enough talking. Let's boot up the game and let's take a discovery flight. We'll be going to France. We'll be flying the Diamond DA40, and be taking a look at you know, how realistic it is. Let's go ahead and launch it, and I'll let you observe the launch real quick. As you first boot up and launch the game, it is obviously impressive how beautiful the game is. Absolutely mesmerized by the beauty of the game and the perfection of the graphics. And of course, my supercomputer here doing an absolutely amazing job of rendering all this uberly complex stuff here. However, the realism and the level of excellence that they've been able to achieve is truly impressive. It is hard to put into words. You know, I grew up with Flight Simulator, as I said, and I have been able to grow with it over the years. Of course, the simulators I interact with now on a daily basis are the boxes, as we call them, right? The full-size level D simulators that we interact with as airline pilots. Those are, you know, full-blown cockpit that we operate, and we practice all of our emergency procedures. So I do still interact with simulators. Of course, this is got very little to do with that. This is, you know, a consumer grade and entertainment, and I think it's an absolute home run by Microsoft. And you know, the jaw just hits the floor when you first boot this thing up, because it's just too good. It's too perfect, right? The quality of the graphics, the interaction with the aircraft, the virtual cockpit. I mean, you know, I grew up flying some of the older Cessnas, which they do have here, and I can. Interesting. My RPM is complaining here, saying I'm a bit too fast on my prop. So I'll oftentimes, you know, be having a difficult time still because I'm getting used to the game, just interacting and you know, talking and doing things at the same time. But if I pause, if I stop talking, it's just something really caught my eye, and I'm paying attention. The control columns that I've purchased here, the throttle quadrant and the yoke, are unbelievable too. I know I may be a little bit at a loss of words here to describe this, all this beauty and how magnificent it is. But promise you, I'll be doing my best. So over here we're in the discovery flights, you know, so we don't have that live weather function, but the live weather function is simply amazing with the traffic, with the live traffic. ATC and checklist and the overall procedures and getting used to the overall interface is a real challenge, and something that I'll have to work on for sure, right? And I'll gladly do it as I dive a little bit deeper here. You know, the thing about this experience, as I have tested a little bit some of the more complicated airplanes, I reckon you could be very well trained on some of the aircraft that are more complicated if you were to consider them using this as a training tool for your typewriter. Just absolutely unbelievable level of complexity, right? And I mean, I was flying the PC-12, or the one that's comparable to it, yes? And, you know, I was there just trying to get off the ground, and I'm having to run the checklist. I mean, just a full checklist to get the turbine started, unfeathering the prop and getting the booster pumps on and all of that stuff. And it's, man, incredible complexity, incredible complexity. In the past, simulators did not used to simulate all the, ooh, a bridge, let's go under it. That truck was underneath it. Yeah, don't fly like this. But that's the beauty of the game, yes? Yeah, I was having to run checklists to go fly the single engine, you know, turboprop. And I was impressed. So in the past, obviously, you know, games did not simulate every switch, you know, and you could buy expansion packs. I remember one in particular that was simulated in 737 Next Gen. I'm sure I can pull it up. The name kind of escapes the mind right now, but it was, it actually simulated all the switches, simulated a lot of the programming and the FMS. You could align IRSs and do all of that wonderful stuff. So that, you know, but that was extra. That was an add-on package by a third-party company. And all of these extras are into the game as is, right? So very nice, very beautiful. And we'll see how the sharing of this screen goes down, and you know how much quality I can squeeze out of this. You know, it's almost therapeutic, I must say, especially with the music that they got playing right now. You know, you can just go sightseeing. That's a little bit weird to even say, right? But I mean, you could go sightseeing in your flight simulator. I tell you, there are many destinations I really would love to go to. You know, piloting the 737 in real world. You know, I'm a pilot. I fly the 737 aircraft, and I'd love to go to some of these Arctic Circle destinations. You know, in the peak of winter, maybe one time, but then you know the rest just during good weather. And I mean, if you do that in this, you're almost checking that box, aren't you? All right, folks. This is a first impressions. Oh, by the way, so my setup is able to run this in Ultra, which there are angles that, you know, when I look at it, that it's like, it kind of tricks the mind a little bit. Like, you know, this resembles the real world to such a degree that is a little bit weird. So I digress. But anyway, first impressions, new shot. Let me know what you think about the shot. You know, I got 2 cameras recording right now, plus the actual screen. So let me know if there's a shot you'd like to see. I'll show you how I ended up configuring my setup here precisely on a future video. And yeah, that is it. Until then, folks, I guess I'll be doing some sightseeing in France, and then checking out some homes here. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Until next time, as always, fly safe.